brother. She is okay. We're going to talk to the whole family in just a couple of minutes.
All right, and a little bit later on, we're going to build a tree house.
Yeah, we should take a look at this. Tree houses are great for parents and their children. Everybody wants a tree house. We've got some people in the studio. We're going to be, outside the studio. We're going to be talking to them in just a few minutes, and we're going to find out what you need to know to build a tree house in your property or at your property. Some of the things, safety considerations, also aesthetics. You have to make sure that this doesn't offend the neighbors. That's one of the problems.
Okay, sounds like a great idea.
We're going to be building a tree house out on the plaza. This is a great project for parents and their kids, but of course, as with everything, there are certain considerations, safety and aesthetics, and we're going to be talking to those folks out there about that a little later in the show.
Well, you probably have to do...
Can I take that tree house home after we build it?
For the apartment, we're going to ponder a very tiny subject, the mouse. But before we get to that, we've been telling you we're building a tree house. We're not actually building it. Some other people here in the plaza. Jeannie and David Stiles are, I guess, recreation experts. They've written a book called Playhouses You Can Build. And tree houses are a fantastic project for parents to do with their kids. Doesn't have to take all that long. And Jeannie and David, I'm going to come over here and talk to you as you're working on this. What are you doing at this point right here?
Well, we're putting in lag screws. They're half-inch lag screws. They're really strong. And
we're assuming that this is our tree because we don't have a tree here in the plaza. How do you choose the right tree in your yard to actually put the house in?
Well, you want to make sure it's a healthy tree, and it should be at least 6 inches in diameter, the trunk, maybe more.
All right, what are some of the considerations before you actually go out and buy the stuff to build the house?
I think the most important thing is to have a meeting with the kids that are going to be playing in it.
In other words, what they want in it?
Right.
And that's what we always do, is get all the kids together and say, what do you want in your tree house and what do you want in yours, and make it into a really fun thing where you can have check-ins at breakfast.
What about the height, David? I mean, you've got kids, let's say they're 5, 6 years old. You don't want to put this thing 50 feet up in a tree.
Exactly. And also, it's easier if you just make it the height that you can reach. For the first platform, it's much, much better than trying to do it way up in a tree.
So that's a major safety consideration.
Safety and easy.
You want to know your child and know what they're capable of.
You also suggest that, well, first of all, what kind of wood do you use? You have to use some kind of pre-treated wood?
No, not at all. Actually, this is just regular wood you get from the lumber company. It's Douglas fir, but you don't have to specify it.
And when you build it, you use screws, not nails. Why?
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah, and that's really, we think this is a really good tip, because not only do we counterbore these holes so the kids aren't going to be hitting their hands or their legs on it when they're climbing up.
Smooth. Right.
It's smooth. But you know, you want to do treehouse maintenance every year, and if you have to replace a board or something, it's a lot easier to take a screw out than a nail.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you actually plan these tree houses to be able to grow with the tree, or not grow with the tree, but to accommodate the growth of the tree. How do you do that?
Well, for instance, where there's a floor, you never actually bring the floor right up to the tree. You allow about 2 inches space so the tree, as it grows in circumference. It'll grow out and it won't start to destroy the treehouse.
We're going to check back in with you later, but there's one other tip, and just turn around so we don't always see your back. There's one other tip that's important. If you're going to build a treehouse and you live in a neighborhood, check with your neighbors, because they're going to be staring at it as well, and you should be considerate of them.
And get their approval.
Right.
That's the key.
And ask their advice. You don't have to take it, but it makes them part of it.
Get their approval, and if they don't give it to you, build it anyway.
Right.
Build it anyway and, you know, have fun in it.
All right, Jeannie, David, thank you very much. And again, we'll check in on your progress a little later in the show.
All right.
Now let's go out to California, get a check of the weather from...
Fat treats.
Want to check in on our treehouse?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see how that's doing outside. We've been building a treehouse throughout the... Look at that. Little bucket to bring things up there, like nice cool drinks.
Little Jack and Jill action.
No question. Railings, of course, one of the things you have to remember, you build the railing at children height, child height, as opposed to adult height.
Okay.
We're going to find out more of the safety precautions when you build a treehouse for your children in just a few minutes, and then we're going to throw a little treehouse warming party.
Good.
Out on the plaza.
Sounds fun. You're going to look for your tongue.
Ones are his favorites, and all morning we've been putting up a treehouse in the plaza. We don't need trees, so we're putting it up on posts there. But we've been giving you tips how to build one for your family, and we're going to take a look at the finished product in just a couple of minutes. She's sanding the rough edges.
It's really beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
And then Hody could...
Let's go over to Matt.
All right, Hoda, thank you very much. Time to put the finishing touches on our treehouse that we've been working on throughout the show. David and Jeannie Stiles are now about to put the roof on the house. This has come along beautifully, and it only took, what, a couple of hours?
Yep.
You had some of the work done in advance, though. I mean, you'd lined everything up, cut the pieces to size. In general, how long should it take the average person to build one of these?
Well, really, realistically, average person, probably 2 days, a weekend.
All right. The roof gets attached with screws as well. Is that correct?
It actually can just sit there. I mean, eventually, yeah. We will switch
But you'll
screws
screw it
in.
on. And again, you want to make sure you've measured this out ahead of time. Give your children a little room to grow so they don't grow out of this in 1 year. Talk me through some of the features, Jeanie.
Well, this is great. This is a ratchet. We should probably have the kids demonstrate it.
Okay,
for
bring
you.
the kids
Hey,
over.
you
Come on.
guys, come on over. And
They're going to climb up into this thing.
yeah, we got all kinds of features.
Tell
we
me,
got
this is how they get little goodies up and down from the treehouse?
Yeah. Want to bring the basket over, we found?
You have not only this, you've got a flag that they can. So in other words, there are things that the kids can do at all times. Jeanie, you left me here.
Oh, I'm
Come on
sorry.
back over
Oh,
here.
my flag was dropping.
So there's always things that you can do. That's it. So it's not just a platform, there are activities as well.
Oh, I think that's what makes it really your own treehouse, is just putting your own personality into it. Like the railing, we've got like a fort railing over here.
Right.
Or you can do this neat rope design, and you could put a thatched roof on and make it like a Robinson Crusoe treehouse.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the staircase. I know one of the important safety tips, this is part of a couple of safety tips, every year you need to check all the joints and the seams on this, correct?
On any treehouse.
Just do a spring check. Every spring, make sure there's no rotten wood, and that's where these lag screws are really good to use, because you can take the wood off so easily and
You know,
replace it.
there's a question I think a lot of people have, and I don't know if this sounds foolish. If you put one of these in a tree, does it hurt the tree?
No, I mean, it's not going to hurt the tree. What hurts a tree is doing something like girdling it, cutting the bark all the way around
Right,
or something.
right.
But we've built a lot of tree houses, and they're very healthy trees that they're in. So you want to respect the tree. And
Any idea the cost of this?
this wood right here, this lumber was under $200. But you know, you can also, for parts of it, you could get salvaged wood.
This could be trees you're finding, dead wood that you're finding in bars.
But this is what you want to make sure is strong, your supports.
Yeah, especially because we've added a little extra weight up there. Joking.
We're having fun up here.
Jeanie, David, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Came out terrifically. Katie, have fun. Don't forget to come in for supper, all right?
Okay, all right, all right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You're watching Today.